Bluetooth mode, FM map, AUX mode.
Tonight, we're going to find out what the furthest thing we can see is through this telescope. Good luck, telescope. From one of the darkest spots on the planet, Jupiter is 600 million miles away. I'm going to show you live views. We've just been photobombed of more and more distant targets. I'm going to see how far we can get. The light set off before the Normans invaded England. As modern humans just evolved, is a star camp, which is a bit like Butlins for nerds. Say hello, fellow nerds. We come in because there's great skies. Not only is it dark, but also we're sitting above all the low clouds on the leeward side of a massive volcano which blocks the higher clouds, leaving this place with. This is the one I want. This is one of the best mounts on the market. 16,000 euros. Yep. And you're going to let me play with it? Oh, so you don't be scared? Yes, you can. Don't worry, Kai. Normally, I just break telescopes. Luckily for Kai, I don't want to use this very precious and specially modified C14, even though it has the biggest aperture and is the most zoomed in. And that's because when you're looking at very, very distant objects, being zoomed in isn't the critical factor. Truth is, these objects are so faint, it's hard to see them in the first place. So I'd rather use this relatively modest, although it is still 3 grand, 12-inch fat Newtonian, which specialises in guessing the faint stuff. And thanks to super sensitive modern cameras, this setup is better than any observatory that existed on Earth when I was a kid. Pretty fancy, huh? Although there is one thing that is distinctly not fancy. It's my 20 quid homemade Peltier cooler and fan. You may laugh, right? But it'll reduce the dark current by half. So for 20 quid, yeah, I'm going to do that, right? Tonight, starting close to the Earth, we are going to take giant steps, each 1,000 times further than the last, out into the void. Now, there is an upper limit to this, folks. The professional nerds say the universe is 13.7 billion years old, which means the universe's first light began its journey 13.7 billion years ago. And as light travels 1 light year every year, then in just 6 of our massive steps' time, we'll be looking at objects that are billions of light years away, and from a time gobsmackingly close to the moment of creation. I have to be honest, I am hoping we can get close. Okay folks, the sun has nearly set. It's time to begin our quest. Beginning with that little one there. The moon is 384,000 miles away, and it takes 1.3 seconds for its light to reach us. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to start with the moon is that there is our field of view. Now, that field of view is going to stay with us all night as we go further and further into the universe. Okay, now we need to find an object 1,000 times further away than the moon. And that's actually pretty easy. Jupiter is 600 million miles away. It takes 40 minutes for the light to reach us. Obviously, you don't need a big telescope to see it, but this is what it looks like through a telescope. Even though tens of thousands of moons would fit inside Jupiter, it's so far away that through our telescope it looks quite small. And this highlights a problem. Because we're going 1,000 times further away than Jupiter, to a mysterious cloud which cocoons our entire solar system. And here, in the space between the stars, humanity is yet to find an object that is big enough to see. Undeterred, the professional nerds believe it's teeming with a cloud of 100 billion New York City-sized snowballs. You can't see the blooming comets, not even NASA can see them. They can only see them when they come closer to our solar system. And there is one that's come closer, so we're going to have a look at it now, even though it's a little bit of a cheat, because it's nearer to us than Jupiter is actually, but it came from a place that was light years away. Some comets accelerate towards the Sun from a whopping 2 light years away. And despite being Tidge, by the time they get here, they're going so fast, a direct hit would wipe out every single last one of us. Here we go. Now we're heading 1,000 times further away than the comet cloud to the Orion Spur, which is kind of the mini spiral arm that the Sun is part of. Our spiral arm may not be the biggest, but it makes up for it with some whopping star factories. My favourite is the Orion Nebula because it's just so blooming awesomely massive. To give you a sense of scale, this little dot here is about as big as our entire solar system. And up here, next to the left-hand star of Orion's belt, is the Flame Nebula, whose burning heart is obscured by dark dust lanes. And there's more. Ooh, did you see it? We've just been photobombed. I believe that is the spare fuel cell from an old Russian rocket. But it's just gone across our screen, right? It is live viewing, folks, so anything can happen. But let's ignore it, because up here is another really famous one. If I turn the brightness up, we'll see it. It's the horse head. Now, the light reaching this telescope set off before the Normans invaded England. But that is nothing compared to what we're going to look at next, because we're going outside our galaxy for the first time, folks. As we leave the Milky Way, we pass mysterious clusters of very ancient stars. The light from this globular cluster set off as one year has just evolved. They're 100,000 light years away, but this step takes us to more than 1 million. Can we break the million? Oh, yes, we can. In fact, it's surprisingly easy. I mean, it would be if we weren't pointing straight at this tree. In all honesty, you don't need a big telescope like this to break the 1 million light year barrier. In fact, I'm going to do it with this camera. Heads up, this object is so big, it wouldn't have fitted inside our telescope's field of view anyway. There she is, Andromeda. With the naked eye, the Andromeda galaxy looks like a smudged out star. And that smudge is 6 times wider than the moon, even though it's 2.5 million light years away. Galaxies are so mind-numbingly big that to show you one in the big telescope, I'm actually going to have to find one that is further away. Now, you do need a telescope to see this, and it is a beautiful sight. So, there we go. This unexpected mini-step is taking us 10 times further into the void. Oh, it's very low. Can you